This is Mark Warner with PropertyMortgageInvestment.com, here to argue with Dave Ramsey once again based on an article that he put in the recent Dallas Morning News. And the comment that came in, or the question that came in to Dave, was, why do you recommend saving before paying off your mortgage? I've always thought of a house as a liability that should be paid off as quickly as possible. He answers the question by saying that a house is really an asset and not a liability, which we're in agreement on that particular point. The thing that I have disagreement with him on is he suggests that once you have an emergency fund put in place, whether that's 3 to 6 months of your income needs or your expense needs, and 15% of your income going into a retirement account, that you should take any extra and pay off your house. Well, I don't agree with that, because it's the same example of looking at a 15-year mortgage to pay off your house quicker versus a 30-year mortgage. If you take the difference between those two payments, the 15-year being higher and the 30-year being smaller, and you invested that extra money and took it over a 30-year period at whatever rate of return you think you can achieve, at the end game of 30 years, your house is going to be paid off, and the house is going to be worth what the house is worth anyway. The difference is, over a 30-year period, and that difference that would otherwise go to your house to pay it off quicker will give you a much larger nest egg than if you paid it off in 15 years and invested what that house payment was over the remaining 15 years is going to be a smaller amount. So I don't agree with Dave in that you want to pay off your house as quickly as you possibly can. You want to use that money in other investments, because when you consider a 5% interest rate in today's market, if you're in a 30% tax bracket, your net cost on that money is 3.5%. So if over the long term you can achieve better than a 3.5% return net after tax on your money, you're ahead of the game at the end. So here's Mark Warner disagreeing with Dave Ramsey again. And if you have a comment about this, please feel free to comment on our YouTube channel, or you can send an email to askpmi@propertymortgageinvestment.com. This is Mark Warner with PropertyMortgageInvestment.com.